Hi, everyone. I am so excited because I am speaking with author Michelle Seiler Tucker about her brand new book. You can see it on her background called Exit Rich, the 6P method to sell your business for huge profits. I am so happy to meet you. I loved this book. You are so smart. I felt so, when I was going into this, I'm like, oh my gosh, there is so little I know, but I've never owned a business. I'm really intrigued about it now. Like this, for instance, I always wanted to make this a business and it's not, it's my hobby. And then after reading your book, I'm like, I need to make it a business. I need to I need to. And I think there are a lot of people like me, like we have
Oh,
hobbies
yeah.
that we never think about as being businesses, but this book really made me think about that. So I want you to give us like the background of like why you wanted to write this book.
Well, this is my third book. My very first book on selling businesses was back in 2013 when I wrote Sell Your Business for More Than It's Worth. And when I wrote Sell Your Business for More Than It's Worth, the landscape was completely different than it is today.
Mhm.
So it used to be that 90% of all startups would fail. And we all know that. But when I wrote Exit Rich in 2019, and I did the exact same research, I was flabbergasted to realize that the business landscape has changed dramatically.
Right.
So now it's only 30% of startups will go out of business. So they really flip flopped. Out of 27.6 million companies, those businesses that have been in business 10 years or longer, 70% of them are going out of business. We hear this in the media all the time, like Toys R Us in business 75 years goes out of business. Steinmart, Pier 1, Kmart, GNC closing down 900 locations, Godiva Chocolate closing down 1,500 locations, Disney stores closing. But the media doesn't talk about the private businesses on every street corner in every town in every state across our great nation. These businesses are dropping like flies. These businesses are exiting poor. These owners are exiting poor, selling for pennies on a dollar, or even worse, filing for bankruptcy. So with those statistics, and then with what Steve Forbes says is 80% of businesses don't sell, I couldn't think of a better book to write during this time frame. And by the way, the stats were before COVID.
Oh, I was going to say, was that because of COVID?
No, 2019 was before COVID.
Right. What? Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
did my research in 2019. Yeah. So now it's probably going to be even more businesses going out of business. So that's why I wrote the book. I've been in business for a little over 20 years. I've sold over 500 companies. My firm altogether, we've done 1,000. We've sold over 1,000. And I wrote the book to educate business owners that you need to plan your exit from day one of starting your business. Like Stephen Covey says, start with the end in mind. And you need to build a solid infrastructure of the 6Ps. Most business owners create a glorified job that they go to work at every day versus a business that works for them. So when you leave or you go on vacation or something, you're probably not getting paid. So you really want to create a business that works for you and build a solid infrastructure of the 6Ps.
That's what I found so fascinating. If I wanted to make this a business, I wouldn't think about like exiting it. I'd be thinking about like staying with it my entire life because it's my business. But you say in this book is to not make it that personal, that a lot of
Yes.
people make it very personal and hence don't make money.
Well, and nothing lasts forever. Nothing stays with you your entire life.
Right.
Kids move out, they go to college, they get married, they have their own kids. Sometimes they move out of state. Nothing really lasts forever. And that's the problem. A lot of business owners is the mindset. We really have to have a mindset shift and not think of your business as your baby, because your business is not your baby. Your business is your most valuable asset. Your babies are at home. Go home, hug them, kiss them, love them. But you need to build your business with a sell, with an exit in mind, because even if you don't exit, you'll have a much more sustainable business that you can scale, that's much more profitable. And when you ever do come to, the path in the road that you need to sell, you actually have a sellable asset. The reason that 80% of businesses don't sell is because they don't build a sellable asset. They don't build a business buyers want to buy. Buyers don't buy jobs. They buy companies that run on all 6Ps.
That's what I want to tell everybody. I mean, COVID has changed us a lot. We do look at work differently. I work from my home now. I never did before. I always worked in an office. Now I work at home and I do this more and I wasn't doing this as much. The timing of the book was just because I think everybody started to think, well, what can I do? What can I do? And consultants and all kinds of different people that were employed in an office were like, and either lost their job or they started to think, well, what can I do? Because sometimes those offices, like you said, even more so were closing. Take somebody like me. Okay. I never thought about owning a business. Never. I've always worked for somebody. You know, there are many women my age. I'm in my late 50s. Kids are gone. It's like you said, my kids are gone too. I got the empty
Let
nest.
me just congratulate you on being over 50 because you don't look like it.
Oh, Zoom is kind. Let's put it that way. You know, I spent, my oldest son is 34. I have 6 children. I spent all that time raising 6 children. You get to this age and you're like, okay, now it's my turn, and we live longer, right? I mean, we're productive. We're not ready to retire yet. So if I were to think about a business, what do you suggest people who are like me? So you're like, okay, so if you want to start a business, you got to think about the end. You say in your book, like, a lot of people also not only not thinking about the end, but they also wait too long. Like there's like a sweet spot. They wait too long because they hold on thinking, I'm holding on, I'm holding on. Somebody says to you, all right, I want to start a business. And then you say to them, okay, we got the 6 P's. First step.
First step. So I always say, again, even at your age, with all the kids being gone, with your business, it's just you, right?
Right.
You have to make the decision because running a business is not for everyone. So everyone in your position has to make the decision about what you want in your life. Do you want something that's just a lifestyle business and it's just you, or do you want to actually build a business with people? But processes, with everything else that entails. So a lot of women are comfortable just running their business out of their home with just them, tending to their children, and that's okay. I'm not trying to change the mindset of people. I am trying to change the mindset of individuals who really want to grow a business, because what you have or what somebody has that the whole business is them and are working out of their home, well, that's not sustainable. What happens if something happens to you? That's not scalable, and it certainly will never be sellable because you are the business.
Right.
You know, and nothing lasts forever. You know, business owners don't think about selling until catastrophic events occur. Internal catastrophic events are like health issues, burnout, partners disputes, death, divorce.
Right.
And then external is this pandemic we're in. I had a lady call me the other day from Houston. Their husband dropped dead from a heart attack, left her with a mountain of debt, and she wanted me to help sell the business. He had no business. He had a glorified job. He had a couple of 1099s. He had like 8 to 10 1099s, but he had no processes. He had nothing else put in place. All the data was in his head. So when he died, the business died.
Wow.
Okay. I don't know if you're married, but you also want to set up our loved ones. Okay. A lot of us go into business to leave a legacy for our family too.
Right.
But I'm just saying nothing lasts forever. Businesses have human life cycles just like we do. So businesses and humans have the same lifestyle. So they start out as a newborn in the incubator and go all the way to death.
Yeah, I love that. This book is so easy to read. I'm telling you, like, even though I know you are so smart, but instead of making me feel not smart, by the time I was done, I actually felt smart. Like I was like, that is things I never, because I'm the same way. I'm a 1099. Okay. And so what I always think is I should do more. Like I'm a 1099. I should do more 1099s. I have time. I could do more work. I could do more things. But then you're right. Like that's not really a quote unquote business. Right.
No, it's not a business.
Which I never thought about. I was like, well, I knew it wasn't like a business, but it feels like a business because I am a 1099 and I could open up more 1099s, but to create a business out of it, that wouldn't just be me, right? Like it would just be, I would have to think of something. I'd have to think about how to not make it just about me and me just doing work, right?
What do you do?
I'm a legal assistant.
Oh, okay. So you're a 1099 for a law firm, for one law firm.
For one law firm, because that's what happened because of the pandemic. But I'm on 24 hours a day, 7 days. Like he has me whenever he wants me, which isn't always good because I have a lot of downtime. When I do this is why I do this.
And he pays you hourly, right?
He does.
So what if you actually grew a business? Because that's a job, but you're just working for somebody. So what if you grew a business and built a business around legal assistance? Because there are so many legal assistants who would rather work from home. You could build a business of legal assistants. You could train them. I mean, they're probably already, if they're a legal assistant, they're a legal assistant, but you could train them on your methodologies, and they would work for you because what you're doing is not scalable.
Right.
They will work for you. You could do it as them being a 1099 under you. It could be an employee under you. It could be a franchise. I would say probably not a franchise, but I would say either 1099s or employees underneath you. And now you keep growing it and growing it and growing it. You have 100, 200, 500,000 legal assistants under you. You develop some proprietary software. Yeah. And what law firms do you specialize in?
I do contracts. It's
Contracts. Okay.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to branch out into different areas other than contract law, you could do intellectual property law.
Right.
You can do workers' comp law. You can do personal injury law. I mean, there's so many different areas of law. If you
Right.
just want to specialize in contracts, I would say contracts and IP.
Mhm.
You want to specialize in those two things, build yourself a business for legal assistants under you. You do the marketing, you put together all the processes, you grow all the proprietary, you get them leads. This could be a really good business for you.
Absolutely. I have a lot more connections,
Did,
of law firms in the area. I'm very familiar with them.
did you ever think of that?
In the back of my head, like, but I'm telling you, since I've read this, since I read your book, I have definitely thought about it more. Or even this. I've never made this into a business. I mean, I interview authors at least one or two a week. I do book reviews for Amazon. I mean, I'm in with a lot of publicists that give me free. I got free books coming every day for book reviews. That is more difficult because it's not really money making. You're not really
It's
making.
not money making and, it's not really sustainable, scalable. It's another project for you.
Right.
So, always encourage women to focus on energy management
Right.
versus time management.
And exactly, because I crochet too. I always thought about, making, because I crochet all the time, right? Especially when I was raising kids. And I'm like, people are like, you should sell your blankets. And it's like, this is not, I put way too much time. I could never, it would be like a $10,000 blanket. Who's going to buy 10,000? Like for the amount, if you were doing it hourly. So that's not, that's like an Etsy thing. If you feel like doing it, opening up and making a couple $100 every now and then. That's not really, but the legal secretary, the legal assistant, that is way more. And people, if you read her book, you will see the difference between what is a hobby and what is business. And that is way more of a business.
And law firms will love it because law firms always looking to cut overhead.
Right.
So 1099s are not paying taxes and Social Security and everything else.
Healthcare.
Having to deal with employees. One of the biggest problems in every business is employees.
Right. Right.
So I would encourage you to build a legal business.
Well, thank you. And I definitely, now that have read your book, I feel so much more capable. And that's what I wanted to tell all my ladies out there that are watching this, that you can do it. You can get very intimidated thinking, well, I'm in my 50s. I didn't go to college. I raised children. But in this world that we live in now, anybody can have a business. You can open up a business that can be online and take something that you love to do. Like you said, don't get too attached to the loving part.
Yeah. And in my opinion, and there might be some people out there that's not going to like my comment, but college doesn't equal success, doesn't always equal success. I have a lot of successful entrepreneurs that have an 8th grade education and they built a multi-million dollar company. So college does not always equal success. It equals high fees, student loans. A lot of these kids coming out of college, my husband and I were talking about that yesterday. There's one college that costs about $50,000 to $60,000 a year to attend, and you're going to make about $50,000 when you get out. That's like the cap. So college does not always equal success. What equals success is entrepreneurship,
Yes.
finding a problem, coming up with a solution, So I would encourage you to also look to see, are there any other legal type companies like this that operate off of 1099s?
That's exactly what I was thinking as I was finishing up your book. I was like, it's got to be the 1099. The 1099s is where it's at with firms, because they do want to cut that healthcare cost, because they always have to keep upping the game. If you're going to be an employer on a big firm, you got to keep upping the game to get
Mm.
to get people who are very qualified in. So they're giving more vacation days, they're giving, better healthcare and all that stuff. Cut through all of that and say, I'm just going to get you your work today. How about I just get you your work today, right?
Yeah, and because a lot of that's not sustainable either,
Right.
for a lot of these law offices. But I
Yeah.
would encourage you to do your homework, do your due diligence, and then put together a good plan,
Yeah.
and build your infrastructure off the 6 Ps.
I have it. I have the book now, and I feel so much better qualified for that. So I just want to thank you for that.
You're
I
welcome.
It's not even the kind of book that I would normally read. And I was thinking, what can I get from this book? I don't even know. And then I got so much. And the way you laid it out with the quotes and the layouts of it's a beautiful book. It really was so well done. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, I enjoyed it so much. So I don't have one to hold up though, because I did it digitally, which is the way of the world too. But everyone, go. This book came out June 22nd. You can go order it right now. You can get it on your Kindle or order the book. And I highly suggest you think outside of the box, because this is the time that we can start thinking that way, right?
Absolutely. Look, there's so many things that can be done. We just had a couple minute conversation. I already told you what you should do for your business
Right?
in a couple of minutes. So yes, get the book. But I encourage everyone to go to exitrichbook.com. You can either go to exitrichbook.com, Amazon, or any bookstore, Barnes and Nobles, your favorite bookstore, or exitrichbook.com. If you go to exitrichbook.com for $24.79 plus shipping, we will email you the digital download like you have. We ship the hardcover to your doorstep. To anybody that lives inside the United States, outside the United States, there's additional shipping charges. And then we give you a lifetime membership into the Exit Rich Book Club, where we have all the documents you need to run your business.
Wow.
And sell your business. So we have sample policy and procedure manuals, employee handbooks, org charts, sample letter of intent to sell your business, purchase agreements, due diligence checklist, closing docs. All the documents you need to operate and sell your company are at the Exit Rich Book Club. They're there for your review and your download. And I can promise you that these documents cost over $50,000 to recreate.
That's why I'm in shock. I know what those.
Yeah.
I know
So
that's worth.
that's why I'm telling everybody, go to exitrichbook.com, but we'll give you a 30-day membership in the Club CEOs. And Club CEOs is a mastermind where we ask the tough questions, we do hot seats, Q&As, really help business owners pivot so they can build that, sustainable, scalable, and sellable business, kind of like we just did with you in the last 5 minutes. So that was a taste of that. So you get all of this at exitrichbook.com. Now, if you prefer to buy at Amazon, your favorite bookstore, then email me the receipt, and then we'll make sure you still get the bonuses.
Well, you know what, Michelle, I can tell your passion is in this, and that's what comes through in this book, that what your passion in helping people start their own businesses and then sell them and then start new ones and then sell them. So I love that. And it definitely came through in this book. Thank you so much for talking with me.
Of course. Thank you so much. And that's why I wrote Exit Rich, to help change lives of business owners.
Yes. And I could definitely see that. So thank you for your time. I really appreciate it. Everybody go get the book. It will change your life. I promise you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Yep. Bye-bye.